and we are here daily, Monday through Friday, as we count up to 100 century cases. So 100 century bears, people who in the Eat Like a Bear community have lost 100 pounds or more since finding Eat Like a Bear, like many of these ladies in Missouri. So Missouri may be the center of the century bears because they already have 8 cases. 8 cases. All right. We have 95 listed on the website graphic today, but we've had some announcements. And this is very exciting because on the website you can see some bit of speculation about where our century bear will be. There is just a map of the United States, but I'm like, maybe this is a person near Wendy in South Africa. So we can all go to Cape Town and say, yeah. So Wendy's looking for us, for a little cluster of cases. But I have a map of the United States because, of course, there are more people in the U.S. in the Eat Like a Bear community since that's where we started. And it is word of mouth that's driving so much of this. Word of mouth, or I do have some paid ads on Facebook that have found some of you as well. And so mostly in the US, but we have lots of people from other countries as well. So we're kind of wondering, but based on the map, I speculate that maybe the person's going to live somewhere near the headwaters of the Mississippi River. So we shall see. And I do expect that our century bear will make himself or herself known sometime this week. And in anticipation of that, I'm going to say to just set aside a little time, this time next Tuesday. I'm planning kind of a big YouTube thing right here. You'll find me right here on YouTube with a little bit of extra special show for you as we try to get just a whole lot of different people here for you. And so that's going to be next Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow, probably. So stay tuned for the exact time, but probably noon Pacific, since I'm kind of trained myself to sit here in my chair at noon Pacific on Tuesday, which I believe is May 25th. And so I'm busy kind of arranging some things and trying to test out the tech to make sure that we get this. But we have had some announcements in the last week, so it's getting very exciting. And let's see, so actually just today, Melissa announced that she's down 100 pounds. What she hasn't clarified is if that's since finding Eat Like a Bear. So congratulations to Melissa. Losing 100 pounds any way that you did it is a great thing. And we're just kind of waiting to hear because the actual number of the century bears is losing 100 pounds since finding Eat Like a Bear. And so, for instance, I lost my first 20 pounds before, finding me, apparently, just through kind of a regular low carb diet. And then I lost 120 total. And that, in that case, would qualify for sort of century bearhood, though I'm not on the list. Someone said maybe I should be century bear zero. Century bear zero. Okay, so that was Melissa today, but Sandra in Florida announced on Friday, and it's really pretty cool because we have one other Florida century bear, and it turns out they actually live pretty close to each other. So maybe there's something in the water where Sandra and Lori live in Florida. I don't know. We might need to investigate. Last week, we also had Tina, Rebecca, and Susan, who announced right here on this channel. So that was really exciting. And we had Pamela last week too. So Pamela has lost 100 pounds from, but not all since finding Eat Like a Bear. So she's on the site, and I'd sure love Pamela to submit her story. It would be great to hear about it. And so, but she's not in that count. And you know what? It's easy to get caught up in these numbers and the counts, and it's just something we're shooting for. But Pamela, hot diggity, you lost 100 pounds. Just however you lose it, you guys, good. And you know what? If you don't have 100 pounds to lose, good for you. I mean, good for you, right? So that's good too. Get to the finish line. So I've talked about stories this week, including, a lot of people who sort of played an unexpected role in what is an unexpected little movement here. And hey there, Shell Foundry, are you going by Shell, or did you just not finish spelling your whole name here on YouTube? So I'm kind of curious. But anyway, so I've told some stories about like the Instagrammers. So that was a few days ago still already. And my doctor here in Central California, who I told over the course of a number of days and boohooed a little bit. So you can find all those stories if you haven't found them. And of course, the story of the story behind this video, the video that was I made just after taking this photo in Yellowstone National Park in 2018. And so the video, a postcard from Yellowstone, and the backstory behind that, which involves the doctor, it involves a stranger in a Utah thrift store and all kinds of interesting things. So, but today I want to talk a bit about well, let's call it the kind of mission as I see it at Eat Like a Bear, and the revenue, and what I think separates us from a lot of weight loss platforms. But let me just check in with you guys and your comments first of all. So hey, getting a lot of hey. So Gabrielle from Ontario, awesome, and oh Sharon, you're so close. 4 pounds to go. So we're now. I think we're hitting our 100 by sometime this week, maybe, but within a week. That's why I'm bravely setting Tuesday as the day for the plan. Okay, so, and 4 pounds away, 4 pounds in a week, it's possible. But anyway, go get it, Sharon, because you know what? I mean, from here, we need to figure out, well, like, what's next? I mean, 200, 1,000, 10,000. I mean, where are we going from here? So that's part of this discussion too, and part of where we're going with all this. Well, that is so exciting, Sharon. That's awesome. And Stacy is in Southern Utah. Oh, Stacy, would I love to be in Southern Utah right now. Now, wait a minute. So are you maybe in, so you might live very near the thrift store that involved the stranger that inspired a postcard from Yellowstone. So, let's see. Amy. Hey there, Jackie from Pennsylvania. And hey, Colorado, Texas, so much making me want to just break out, drive out of this place, just drive through all of these places, see you guys. How would we do that? Like, how would we coordinate, my car? Like, which way will I turn now? So where are we going next? So I wonder, actually, I should look into the software that I'm showing, because sometimes the software, so this is made for businesses and setting up their sales routes. This software is made for that, and I just used it to find where people were. Well, I bet I could make some kind of travel route. I'm going to try that just for fun and see where it would take me. But I wonder if I could like kind of be biased and say like I need to start heading towards Utah first. Gosh, I would love to go there. So yeah, Deborah, regional meetups. So we need to figure out how to make that happen. And I've known that for over a year. It's one of the biggest requests that we get. But of course, with COVID, I just sort of like, I'm not even going to think about it for a while because it wasn't really possible. And so now we're kind of breaking out. We're testing to see how effective the vaccine is, hoping that it is in that range of that the studies suggest, but we're about to find out. Okay, so let's see. Jackie. So Jackie, you guys, Jackie was a truck driver. So she's saying, get a big semi and we'll collect the bears. That's such a vision, Jackie. See, you're tempting me because that Jackie knows me well enough to know stuff like that gets me. Like, we're going to drive around in the semi, collecting people. Like, who would do that? Oh, I don't know. Me and Jackie. I mean, that would just be like, right when you get to be 50 or whatever, like, I mean, that's the time to break out and just be crazy and say, who cares? Who cares if we look crazy? Who cares? Okay. The revenue and the goals of, so frankly, I've been just so emotional. I've been overworked and tired and all that. I should go take vitamins. And so because of this very exciting time with the Century Bears, and really because it's a symbol, right? It's just a big symbol of what we've been able to do here. We're doing this without drugs, surgery, branded products, um, paid membership, coaching models, on a diet that can be done on food stamps. That is what we're doing here. And so that's gotten me kind of emotional. But I feel like this is a time too to be very explicit about where we're going revenue wise. And let me just kind of blurt out right here that I actually, here's a little trick. So I don't know if you guys are on LinkedIn, but if you're on LinkedIn, you can see LinkedIn will tell you who searched for your profile, and people can go incognito in LinkedIn, but it will tell you a lot of times the companies that the people work for who are searching for you. And so you might sometimes find interesting companies that have searched for you. And I actually have had 4 or 5 different venture capital companies who have searched my profile. So that's like, venture capital companies are the ones who, they've got all the money and they're trying to invest it in something to make more money. And so when you have VCs, they're VCs. When you have VCs searching for you, then maybe you're onto something. Okay, so in weight loss or whatever. And I mean, I look at that. I mean, I chuckle, and I'm saying this publicly and out loud because it also entertains me a little bit, because I'm going to just say I'm not going to connect with a VC firm to this is not what we're doing here, because what happens, it's like when you go public or whatever, corporate public, that you're then driven by, you are accountable to your shareholders for the revenue. That is your goal. And it is the goal of companies to maximize revenue. And, I don't even blame them. I mean, that's why the companies exist. But it's very interesting as I've looked at weight loss platforms and that perspective. And increasingly, I see that as a key problem in weight loss. And essentially, the goal is wrong. Or the goal, I mean, it builds revenue, but does it maximize success? And so I would probably more likely just go off and become a rodeo clown in Idaho before I would sell to, or sell a piece or whatever to a VC firm. That's where I am with this. So I'm just putting that out there because, hey, we're live. So I need to finish this. We are live. So. Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Hey, Sandy. Oh, Sandy, you want to say hi? Wait, because you're kind of famous here. This is awesome.
Hello.
You guys, do you know who this is? So this is an unexpected special guest appearing here live on YouTube. So do you guys recognize her? Because she's famous. So she's famous here, and you've read about her because this is Sandy, the postmaster who helped mail the 10,000 books from this post office right here. So, and so in the links article on but you need to use the restroom. Go, yes, Sandy, run, go. It's right there. Okay. Okay. Hey, Sandy, let's take a little pause, a little commercial pause. Let me see your comments real quick. How funny. Let's see. Just scrolling up here. Anyway. Oh, Amy has a great visual idea. We should all keep one of our fat outfits and wear it over our new, smaller clothes and do a catwalk strip. Okay, Amy, that's great. So, yeah. So so we'll take a little break now to reminisce, and I'll get my brain back into the revenue thing here in a minute. But you guys, how ridiculous that. But yeah, hey, wouldn't that be great? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. So look for these. So maybe by tomorrow I'll be organized enough on this, which is I'm going to be putting out calls for little video clips. And when I put those calls out, get ready and just do them, because we're going to make like community videos, like some of the ones we've done in the past that were so great and I've always wished I had more time for. And we're going to definitely do more commemorating this time. And yeah, I think the catwalks would be great. And I think anybody, I mean, Century Bear, not Century Bear, anyone like with the game to do a catwalk, I think would be really fabulous. We'll do that. We'll probably have one that's a theme about, like things you can do now that you couldn't do before. That might be the catwalk. But the fun things like the slides and the different like physical things. We'll, oh, but probably the next one that we'll put out, or the first one, is so I'll announce this right here, and I will put out a call because I have a specific way to collect the videos, and so look for that and look for a link. But I want to do like a rewind video that is something like where you just go on and you leave a little video clip that says, "Hi, I'm Amy, and I remember when." See, I thought I had a different picture. "Hi, I'm Amy, and I was so inspired by all the Missouri Bears," or something like that. Or, "Oh, hi, I'm Amy, and I remember Tanya's rainbow hair." Okay, anything. And then, because wouldn't that be amazing? Then we have and then you're like, let's make sure Tanya wants her rainbow hair in the video or whatever. So we'll have a little bit of production time behind that, but like a whole mashup of clips of memories of like, oh, remember when so and so reached that goal. And then so somebody's saying it and then we show it, what is kind of my vision for that. So that's going to probably be the first one that I make a call for, but I really like the catwalk idea, so I'll practice it here. Perhaps we can lead with that on Tuesday. We shall see. Okay. And so and let's see, I couldn't lift my leg high enough to get on my bike. Yeah, no, I know, Bonnie, gosh, because I mean, and then your balance and all that with something like a bike. I mean, it's a different world. For me, 140 versus 280, totally different world. So, so you guys are getting the ideas. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I've already just mentioned, before our cameo appearance by Sandy the postmaster, which was awesome. What I was talking about was the revenue model here at Eat Like a Bear, and the play people make in the weight loss industry to maximize revenue, and in any industry, because that's what businesses do. That is their goal, is to generate revenue, and that is the point of a business. So let me just say that's the point of a business. And so this is not as much judgment as like commentary on the dynamic that comes out as a result of that. And so what I mentioned is that I've had venture capital company searching for me on LinkedIn, and the idea that I'm gonna sell out to a VC and cash in, and I said I would sooner become a rodeo clown in Idaho. It's far more likely to just run away than to like sell out to a VC firm, because what happens is that then the maximizing revenue becomes your number one goal. And I mentioned a few stories ago that I was at Expo West in March of 2019 when I made the very specific decision to measure all of my own time and activities around whether my time would help generate more success in the community, improve our success rate, number one. So increase tools for people to find success, or increase the number of people, like putting in time to for some kind of promotion so that more people were finding us. And so those two things, but I'm really biased towards the first, that is increasing the rate of success of the members who are here already, as opposed to just like, let's try to get really big and have a lot of success cases that way because we're big. No, we want the rate to be high. And then as people find us and can fit into that groove, I mean, that's the long game strategy right there. And that's been my goal. And so, but the big problem with this is that you can't then not have revenue. And so, I mean, I discovered that very early on. So we're not even 3 years old yet, but we weren't even probably 3 months old before I knew I needed revenue. And I talked in one of the stories about how I was considering sponsors and different types of revenue models. When in the end, I to this point, our revenue model has been completely content. And so the books, for instance, the Ridiculously Big Salad book has driven most of the revenue in the community so far. And we have the Jumpstart book as well. And so what kind of blew me away about this is that this could increase our success rate, because this has been a great tool for people, who want to implement this kind of thing, because not everybody will, and that's okay too. But for people who do, it's been a great tool and has driven success in its own right. And I wrote this as well too. And I kind of picture them as a companion, but that this is about the framework. It's about the adaptations. It's really about like the philosophy and the spirit of what we're doing. And I really pictured these as companion books for people who are just finding us now, especially and joining, that they would make really nice companions and drive a lot of success. And so the idea is, okay, so if we can pay for ourselves with these and increase success, well, then that's great. And so that's kind of what my approach has been. And I'm so as I look back on the weight loss industry, and this commentary that I have, I didn't appreciate when I made that decision, but I'm beginning to appreciate more how important that decision was that I made in March of 2019. Because I do look at, if you look at the whole weight loss industry and the role of marketers and marketing in particular, that everybody is trying to make to show why they are distinctive. Okay, and so why are they special, and why should you buy their thing? And so, most are going to try to convince you that the solution to your problem, that they have it. And that, I mean, that's what marketers do. That's the job of marketers. And the problem is with weight loss, then we're continually looking for a solution that's out there, wherein we know what the solution is and it's not out there. And the more that we look for it and seek that external solution, probably the longer it's going to take to find what the solution actually is. And so that whole context of marketing really works against the mindset that we need to be successful in weight loss. And there's, and it's even kind of worse than that in weight loss, because the headlines that sell are very often headlines that impede our success. And I've talked about this a bit before as well. And a key example is this concept that, oh, do this thing. Here's this keto 4-week meal pack, and this makes weight loss easy. And like the editors at Woman's World, we know, because I've talked to them about this, and they're the masters of headlines. I mean, they're truly masters. And so look at the cover of Woman's World magazine, like the fat will melt right off of you. Okay, so that is an example of a headline that probably is not going to help with success, because this is why. Now, it'll sell the heck out of the magazine. And they know how to do that. So giving them their cred, okay? But the problem is that when you discover that, wow, it's not melting right off of me, that you think, well, it doesn't work and something's wrong with you, that it kind of reinforces this idea that you individually are kind of biologically distinct. I mean, you might have a condition that's impeding your weight loss, but I mean, we're really not biologically distinct. I mean, not so much so in the way that it is very much reinforced by all of these weight loss messages. Again, because you try the thing, it doesn't work as promised, and then you think you're the problem. And you get that every single day of your whole life, and it becomes a problem up here. And you think, so nothing's ever going to work, and you do, I mean, kind of give up hope. And you stop trying. But the thing is, you've been trying with the wrong tools all the time. I mean, we all had some of these tools, right? We had the wrong maybe combination. And but ultimately it's that mindset shift that's the key. So, and absolutely, that is an issue in maintenance, because I can't even tell you that. I mean, it's not even about, yeah, we know a meal model that works. We have a great meal model that works and is driving all this success that you're seeing. But, uh, it's another thing to then continue to implement that meal model, and that becomes almost all up here. And so, anywho, I, now I've gotten so off track. But the point is that the weight loss messages that are just persistent in American society and really all over, that come from the marketers, is that the solution is out there in their products, and the headlines that they use are headlines that really do not foster success. I'm going to say they actually set us up for failure, because pretty much none of us ever have that experience. And so we then try it, it doesn't work as promised, like, oh, something's wrong with us, something's wrong with us. And, we might only try it for 7 days, or maybe we don't fully implement it. I mean, there might be all kinds of things, but the idea that anything is actually easy, that's the wrong mindset. It's the wrong mindset. The idea that the solution is simply like going by rote, following a bunch of recipes. The RBS, so as an author of a recipe book, the RBS book does give this 6-week plan, and you could just go in, you could just like not read the book and just go into the 6-week plan and just like go, salad by salad. I think you'd definitely lose weight, because the meal model is really effective. But I would get concerned about somebody's long-term success rate with that, because really there's a lot about the salad that fits into like the right psychological groove too. And I think embracing like the full content of the book and learning the framework, learning why it's working is important. Probably crafting some of your own meals using the framework is important, because that reinforces the learning. And there's psychology kind of embedded in the book, and all of that is driving success. So I actually get a little bit concerned about people who are like, I need a recipe, because I feel like the recipes aren't the solution either. Ironically, I say, as the author of a book that has a bunch of recipes in it. But let me look real quick at your comments. And so, yeah, so you guys, Melinda, and so I have just, so in this issue, on the topic of sharing so much for free. So let me say this, that these things do pay for the community. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. But also the like the 3-day challenge has the meal framework, and people who, people can get in and just like kick the tires with that 3-day challenge, and maybe that's all they need. But we, one of the things that frustrates me in the community is people who, I don't know, that they aren't digging in more to some of this content. And if someone doesn't have the money, I get it. I totally get it. But I see a lot of people who maybe they take for granted that well, it's just a salad, and so they can just go to Pinterest. I've definitely gotten those comments. I'm like, good luck on Pinterest, because you can get fat over on Pinterest pretty easily. So I get concerned about the dynamic in the community of like taking some of this for granted. Oh, it's just low carb. Well, this is low carb, but it's a specific framework for low carb. And so I put a link in this video description, because I just put something on the website today, which is an article, let's call it a companion to this video. And it discusses the content that people can purchase. And it discusses the point that, this content supports the community. And so I'm trying to just be more transparent about what the role of the content is, and where the boundary is that I'm drawing on what I'm providing for free. Because I definitely get people saying, well, but you say I don't have to buy anything. So why are you making me buy a book? Because I'm not actually making anybody buy a book, but at the same time, it costs real money to have this infrastructure, and even to, to produce each of these books. The production cost of the books was pretty high. So you need some coin to invest in that. We have the money back on the RBS book, and so you get it back, but you got to have it to start with. And so anyway, so we definitely get that complaint, like, no, you should be giving away everything. And I'll be real straight, and I was real straight in that article, so I direct you all there and you can see it, but real straight, that if we weren't selling something, none of this would exist, because there are real costs behind this, and they're kind of pretty shockingly high costs behind it. Costs that are so high that I would not have done this at all, had I realized. I would have been too scared, but we're working it out. It's coming along. It's coming along. And so the point is that the 3-day challenge is free. And that is the main meal framework that we use that drives this success. And so I direct people there. People in the group who are still confused about what we're eating. Some of them haven't done the 3-day challenge because they were members before it even existed, for one, before we required it of membership. And so we try to direct them back to the 3-day challenge. But there are also people who don't really do it, and they don't really go through the videos or read it. And they'll come into the group and they'll say things like one of the common questions is, what do I do after day 3? Well, anyone who actually went through the 3-day challenge doesn't ask that. And so it's one of those things, like, I actually spent time putting it together. So if you could just go through it, I would appreciate that. So anyway, we have people in those categories who ought to be directed to the paid content. If they're interested in digging in more, that's where they need to go. Because the other problem that's arising in the group, as it's gotten very big and unwieldy, frankly, is I do see people asking for for recipe ideas, and then people suggesting they go to Pinterest, or people posting ideas. And I could spend all day, every day, going in and commenting on all the ideas about, well, I would be careful about this or careful about that, but I don't do that. And I don't direct the moderators to do that at all either, unless there's something really crazy, egregious, we might delete it. But the way I see it is, if somebody wants to learn the framework, it's in the 3-day challenge, and they can learn it there. If they want more, they can buy a book. But I'm not going to go through and, just analyze all the stuff in the group. If somebody wants to know, and this book out the door is, well, so the book is $29, but then there's shipping. And if it's not worth that to somebody, then it's not. And I'm okay with that, but don't expect me to analyze your recipe because I already have, it's right here. And so that's how I see the boundary with the free content is it's out there and it's ready for you. It's ready for people. Tell your friends and your family and use it. I think that's great. Share the book. If you have friends, share it. Share it with people. But in terms of providing additional one-on-one because somebody won't consume the book in some way, or the courses, you guys, the psychology course as well. I see a lot of people posting about their struggles. I mean, this is a whole psychology game. My God, that's all of what it is. And see people posting about that. The psychology course is in the bundle right now. There's a bundle on the website, and anybody with the cash for that should just do it. Because all this stuff is in there. It's all digital, but it's all in there, all of it. So, okay, so, oh, and Jackie, you're talking about the 5-pack. Yeah, giving, we have 5-packs available. This is all US, the print books are US. There's a 5-pack that you can buy of this, and a 5-pack you can buy of this. And that's what people are doing. We do sell a good number of 5-packs because people are just giving them to friends. But when I said you can share, you could also have just one and then just pass it around, okay? But yeah, the 5-packs. But you can also now buy the 2-pack of these two together, US only. So There's a lot of combinations, and you're going to see that in that post. So it's a new post on the website. It's posted on this video, and so let's see. And so that link is posted on the video. I've tried to describe more about what content is available to purchase, what is free, and so that people can kind of make their own decision. But also and in that post, I discuss some of our future revenue ideas. So let me just real quick throw this out. But because you guys, we have a lot. There's a lot of demand for a lot of things because we've grown faster than any of us really imagined. And we definitely plan very soon. What I'm going to do is, because I've been talking this week about my goal for free content in the future will be right here on YouTube, and it will be in the form of stories that we will tell here on YouTube about people, about how they've been able to do this, what kinds of tools are working for them, but their own personal stories, how their lives have changed. So it can really be some core content that we can all like cling to when we're having a bad day, and the inspirational content that's going to be here on YouTube. And I am going to be very explicit about how that gets funded, because I don't have the funds to do entirely what I'd really like to do, because I'm kind of thinking big about it. And so we're going to generate some of that revenue right in the community, and because it's going to benefit everybody. It will be public. And one thing that we're going to do probably pretty soon is have a YouTube channel membership here, and there'll be more details on that. But very likely, as I work out my live stream tech, what I hope to do is, for the channel members, we will probably have a weekly live where I am doing one-on-one coaching with probably 2 or 3 people. So say it's an hour live stream, and then it's 20 minutes with each person. And we meet with, certain people, like, say there's one person for a month, and then, for a time, and then we might change. But you would be able to engage in that live video and also benefit from whoever that person is who's involved in that one-on-one. So it's going to be something like that, and it will be here on YouTube. But the money from that, whatever revenue we generate, because I'm not sure how much we'll generate, but I'm interested to try it regardless. And that will get folded into this channel. But also, I'm meeting with a person tomorrow about merch. And that is part of all this that I just haven't had the time to work on. It's its own whole big thing. And so I'm meeting with someone about that tomorrow as well. And so merch and the proceeds from, like the shirts, the, coffee mugs or whatever, would go into this YouTube channel. So that's my plan for that. And so anyway, but the digital books and such should, I'm hoping, continue to pay for the community, and at some point pay me. So my husband says, yes, that would be good. So we're still living on Sanders' income. So bless his heart, and thank goodness. But also Sander is just about full-time with us, and unpaid. So at some point we will get paid, and we will. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But anyway, I wanted to be explicit about that, and about the money. I think this is such a sensitive topic in weight loss, and it is a reason we've all been fat for so long. I mean, I believe that pretty deep in here, that it's the dynamics in the weight loss industry that have caused the problems that kind of got us to be 50, 60, 70 and fat. And so I'm not going to be a part of that. That's I'm just saying, just put the whole stake in the ground right here. So anyway, and any suggestions people have, like, I'm always open to how we can improve our success rate in particular, in a way that we can keep the lights on. And so it's always that balance of because here's the other key thing: we will reach more people and have more success with money. So that's why we're funding the YouTube channel differently, and I'm going to be more explicit and ask for help about that, because I think we can grow the heck out of this message, and like just go off into the sunset like all trim. all of us, hiking in Utah together or whatever, if we, do this in the right way. Because, because by the way, for every VC person that's looking at me on LinkedIn, I have at least, um, I don't know, 3 to 5 people, business people who've told me that what we're doing here is not scalable and that we're gonna, um, crash. Like, no, we're not. We're not. We're not. Okay. So, anyway, so you guys could help me by look at that article that I wrote, and then when things come up in the group, tell people, hey, look at the article, link it to them. I'd appreciate it. And because we have seen absolutely when, for instance, when the RBS book went out and more people had it, the quality of discussions and information in the larger community went up. I mean, not only the success of the people who had the book, well, yeah, you'd expect that, but the whole water level of the community went up. And so it helps to keep our lights on. It helps improve the quality of the community. And so this is good for everybody. Good for everybody. Yeah. And no, we're not going to crash. We're not going to crash because, we're all right. We're all right. And because I'll tell you why one reason we're not going to crash is like, I'm so cheap. You guys, I'm at my best maybe when I'm scrounging. So it's like, okay, you're out of money, you're scrounging, like, let's go, let's scrounge. So if, some people run their businesses completely differently than that, and they might have crashed by now because, spending on things that, are a little bit more extravagant or whatever. So I'm cheap. That helps. So that helps with the crashing. We're not going to crash. So we can, get in front of all this and work on it. Because my concern is not as much crashing. I want to grow this the way I want to grow it to see success. And I think we can do that. Like with this is why I'm excited about this YouTube thing and telling these stories. We filmed with KGET last week in the story with Anna Sewell and Melinda Conley and Lori Conley. And I'll tell you, like, I couldn't even believe it. Like, we have to do this. We have to do this. And so that's what we're going to do. It's just going to take resources. So that's all right, because we're going to get them. It's okay. So you guys, this has been such a rambling mess of a video, and I'm sorry. Next Tuesday, probably noon Pacific, but stay tuned for the very specific time, right here, live on YouTube, but with special guests and maybe with the catwalks. I'm going to try to test some things this week, and maybe we'll get someone on here tomorrow. Try to shoot someone in here. Maybe we should. Anyone of you want to do a catwalk here tomorrow? That would be great. That would be really great. But let me look at comments and let's see what we got. Amy's cheap too. One of the best investments because I was investing in me. Well, Amy, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. And also, you know what? The whole framework is really cheap. So that's the nice thing too. So let's see. Yeah, Melinda, I know, shooting that. I'm going to ask them. I don't know if they'll give it to me, but I'm going to try to get all the raw footage and then put it on YouTube. That's kind of what I'm hoping, that the KGET footage. Let's see. And yeah, bear pendants. Yeah, we need to have bear pendants made. I mean, for sure. And I've talked forever about bracelets. And so these would be great. And the reason we don't have them is it has been too much for me. We've got all this stuff going on, the digital courses. Have you guys, anyone been in the Jumpstart course? Just the Jumpstart course. So the Jumpstart course has a PDF of this book, which, by the way, we're gonna get another version of that. It's the same content, but I'm getting a prettier version, put it that way. But the videos in that Jumpstart course, it's pretty, the value is really fairly insane. And Okay, Anasul, you're on, man, tomorrow. Not in person though, because we need you to shoot in digitally. Let me figure out um, how I'm going to do that, and then I think you might, or Anasul in the hammock tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so the print, the book, yeah. So some people are like old school, it's got to be in print, and that's why we have the book. But don't overlook the digital courses, especially if you have any means to stream videos and stuff like that. Which if you can't, I appreciate that because my internet here was very, very bad. I am so glad today it seems to be better because our limb still isn't cut down, but it's okay. I think I'm going to climb the tree myself and cut it down because we can't have people catwalking and the internet not working here on Tuesday. The internet has to work here on Tuesday at noon. Have you all heard? Tuesday at noon next week. Very special programming here on YouTube Live. And so, and so in terms of shipping, shipping internationally, we're hoping soon that they will ship to Canada, but I'm not sure about the rest of the globe. And the reason is it's bureaucratic essentially. And so I'm hoping, in fact, after I finish here, I'm messaging a human in Amazon. I have a name and I'm hoping, but it's the wrong division, but she's very high up, an executive, and I'm hoping she can shoot it over into the right division because I don't have a contact in the seller's central division. Because my hope is that if it's on Amazon, that Amazon then kind of does, I don't know, or we need an international distributor because shipping from here, the cost is outrageous, but it's more than that. It's extremely bureaucratic. Canada's an exception. The shipping's still outrageous. It's like $15 US, okay, from here to Canada for a book, and you have to do the customs and all that. That's a lot as I see it, but the rest of it to all the countries and all that, and we're going to need a distributor. So we'll get one at some point. But guys, I wouldn't wait. I'm like, oh, I'm going to wait till Amanda gets an international distributor before I get that book. Just get the digital and just print it. Just print it and put it in a binder. And then you have, so yeah, it's not as pretty. It's not as pretty as this, okay? But it's printed and it's in a binder and you're doing it. So I would not wait. Definitely don't wait for international. Nope. So, okay, just looking here, scrolling up a little bit more. And if you had questions that I've missed, put them in again. And, thank you. So if you can get the digital bundle, do it. I can't get enough of the psychology course. It truly drives me to keep going. Still working hard every day and probably for the rest of my days. So you guys, the psychology course is highly unique because it's comes out of, it's basically me applying social choice theory to weight loss. And social choice theory is a theoretical framework that comes out of mathematics and economics and is used in some areas of the social sciences. And it's something that I used in my dissertation, and in the psychology course, I'm applying it to addiction essentially. And so it's highly unique, definitely. And it really helped me understand what was essentially happening in my brain in those months as I was here by myself without a plan and implementing this thing. And as I've studied it and worked this last year, in COVID, a lot of my time was spent with that psychology content. And I really wonder how much fatter I'd be as a result of COVID had I not been actually working on that content, because it helped me so much understand the dynamic in my own head, think about it in a far more structured way, and really think about all my decisions in a way that's so systematic I had never considered before. Systematic, but simple. And I just hadn't considered it before. I hadn't really analyzed my thinking like I have in the last year as I've developed that psychology content. So I'm glad I'm glad it's helpful. And I hope it's helpful to many, many people, but if I'm like the only one it ever helps, then at least it kept me trim. So there's that. And let's see. Um, let's see, just scrolling up. And let's see. Yeah, so Amy bought a bear charm necklace to remind me. Yeah, I think I would love, I know I love having this. And I can really see that that would have been a key thing for me too, and especially in the weight loss phase, but maybe forever, having certain symbols, on that bracelet and stuff, that just all these little things really do help us focus and help stay focused on that goal. And it's kind of like we talk about having the vision boards around that have pictures that remind us of our goals. And it's, in a way, it's like having little vision boards, on your wrist or on your neck. Uh, it That kind of thing can be very effective. And plus, I mean, who doesn't like to wear jewelry? So, I mean, especially you guys, as you lose weight, I was never able really to wear bracelets, because the ones that were, well, because they don't look right, because when your wrist, let's just put it this way: when your wrist is more slender, you have more options, and they look better, and so then you want to wear that thing. And so, in a sense, this kind of thing is a reminder to me of this new life that I have, and so it really reinforces it too. So I think these are great tools, and also pretty. So yeah, it's kind of like with the, can we maximize both weight loss success and revenue? Then we like that. Well, can we maximize our weight loss success and look, have something pretty on our wrist at the same time? Well, what? How about that? Yeah. Oh, Amy, that's wonderful. Yeah. And all these reminders to us. Um, let's see. Jackie says, I'm very certain the psychology content is useful to others beyond you. I had a huge mindset change when I began Eat Like a Bear, and it has explained a lot of how I changed and elicited further change. Yeah, yeah. And so, Joe, I would already be in the Century Club if I had invested in it. Oh, I still struggle with the psychology of this way of life. So, Joe, have you gotten in? So then you should get the bundle. You should definitely get the bundle, and then report back to. So I spent 2 months, more than 2 months, this from March and April, all of March and April, moving all of the content and creating a lot of new content. And so it's a whole new infrastructure. So if anyone who has content before, definitely like March and before, it's new. And so there's a new way to access it, and you should have gotten an email. And so if you're in that category, but you don't know about the email or whatever, always just contact support@eatlikeabear.com. But it's a new way of delivering it, and it's really pretty extensive. The psychology course is not broken out on its own yet, but I hope it and the cooked RBS will be by the end of the summer. The reason the cooked RBS is because there is not a book for it yet, and I really strongly feel like there needs to be a book for it, and really teaching that framework in the book, so that it's not just a collection of recipes. As I kind of ranted about earlier, it's easy for people to just think that, like, oh, well, these recipes are going to just save me. And the fact is that there's, no recipe that's going to save any of us, because, it really is a mindset thing. And so learning the framework, adapting the framework is an important part of the process of learning that, actually. And so just sort of selling a recipe collection, I'm not going to do that. And so it's important to me that the book be there in it. Not everyone's going to read all of the books. Some people are going to just go to the recipes, but at least I did my part in having the stuff there. So that's why that hasn't been broken out on its own, because it has quite a few recipes in it already. There's one more strand of recipes I'll probably put in there, but it's got a lot. It's got, I don't know, 50 or 60 recipes already. And the cooked RBS, it's not even just a bunch of recipes. There's certain types and a certain extremely easy method of cooking them in each of the cases and each of the types. You're going to laugh. It's ridiculous. It's true. It's almost embarrassing. Jackie, Jackie would say that's an embarrassment because she knows I know how to cook, at least, reasonably. And this does not show that someone knows how to cook. But Jackie, but I think you have to know how to cook in order to make it so simple that it's embarrassing. And I'm going with that, Jackie. Going with it. The psychology content, I'll break that. That's close. What I'd like to do is have it a little bit more structured, to have a few more activities in there, and to just give it a little bit more structure before that's kind of out there. But there's a lot in that psychology course now as well too. Yeah. So that's all coming. That's all coming. And let's see. Joe has to sell it to her husband. He's cheaper than your sander. Oh, Joe, I'm sorry if that's true. And if we have to have like the cheap husband contest, who would actually win? I would be very sorry for any of you who might be able to beat Sander. Yeah, but there are definitely husbands out there cheaper than him, but not many. He's not. He has his moments. He has his moments and his looks. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you guys. Well, I'm gonna go because let's see. So Jackie, thank you. So thank you, Jackie, for recognizing the cooking, because Jackie has commented before about how ridiculously stupid it is, because it is. It's so, yeah. Anyway, Jackie and I know each other from the Real Foods movement, where the value, that's what, like, real food, like not processed foods, but the big value is in things like, getting your food at a farmer's market, or, I don't know, foraging for it in the forest, which is maybe the ultimate in real food. And in the cooked RBS recipes, I'm like opening up the frozen cauliflower and throwing it in a pot, which would embarrass any real food person, though it's real food. It's real food, but like it's so simple. It doesn't fit with the whole, oh, look at me at the farmer's market at all. Yeah, okay. Hey, new bras. Awesome. 42E to 3060. Wow. Well, that's a huge, huge difference. I wish I remembered the bra that I used, and maybe someone can find something like this and post it, but it was great. It was an adjustable sports bra. So when I was losing the weight, I kept this adjustable sports bra, and it took me, down probably 60 pounds or more through that whole thing, and I adjusted it. And then, because it had like different, positions. And then, so whatever that bra size was, it was like the extra large or something. And then I got the large, and that was adjustable, or whatever it was. So then that took me the rest of the way. It was 2 bras the whole way. And then finally at maintenance, I got real bras. So yeah, but even that's been a chore trying to find the right real bras. Anyway, that's where you go to the custom shops and have them, measure you and all that. And that's its whole own experience. Okay, you guys. So next Tuesday, probably noon Pacific, same time. But keep an eye out, because maybe not. That time could be a little bit different, but it's probably very close to that. So I'm coordinating it, and I'm working on testing some of the tech, and maybe Anna Sewell will jump on here tomorrow and catwalk for us, or hang out in her hammock in Visalia and come here and join us live. And then maybe we can get, and maybe Amy could catwalk on a Wednesday here. And we get a few people. I'm wondering, I want to add more people and see how many people we can push it to. So let's see. Amy says, sometimes when we are fighting with our mental issues with weight loss, we need the ridiculously stupid, easy meal prep just to be able to make it work. Yeah. Honestly, I think that is the only way I lost 50. Yeah, I think that just the freedom to not be thinking about it is really important, that you don't have to plan a complicated meal ever. You can, you don't have to. And so that frees up your mind. And this is so, I mean, time efficient. You take care of business, you're full, it's good, you're satisfied. You just move on and do other things. And if you can develop that discipline, that's probably the real core discipline in all this, is that um, that that's going to take you a long way. Just that. So see, you don't have to get in the psychology course to get that. That is, I would say, distilling it down to that. Um, but then there's lots of other things that come in, like, well, you have all these temptations outside. Outside of that window, how do you deal with all that? And so all of that, it's a very bad week. How do I deal with it now? All these things you have to work those things out. So that's a lot of the stuff I talk about in the psychology course. And let's see. So Stacy hates to cook. Yeah. Well, and you know what? And so it's always an option. You can become a gourmet anytime you want, but you don't have to. Yeah. Okay. 8 kids. My mind was one meal. Yeah, Melinda with and feeding the whole family. Absolutely. So, let's see. Alice. Let's see. What did Alice say? Oh, Alice has a graduation on Tuesday. Yeah, you can definitely watch it afterwards, Alice. But I think it's going to be a fun, high energy episode that anyone who can be here live should try to be here live. But Alice, that's exciting. That, you know what, Alice, the biggest excitement about that point is that there's a graduation, that you can go to, unless it's also on Zoom or something. Yeah. Yeah, Alice, you can definitely watch the replay, but also stay tuned, because maybe the time will be something else. Yeah. Let's see. And Amy, my biggest struggle is I get the 3 other people in. The comment disappeared. Okay. Yeah, Amy, you got to jump in. And the fact is, there's always going to be people who are tempting you or whatever else. And so that's just part of all of the stuff you have to navigate and kind of get ready for and react to and respond to. And you're always going to be tempted. You will always be tempted. That doesn't go away. It just gets easier. It gets easier. So you really have to have you have to have things in place to respond to those in a way that's going to help you meet your goals. Oh, Alice, so your grandchild is graduating. Well, congratulations, Alice, and that's exciting. That you have the best excuse in the world to miss our live video next Tuesday. And you can definitely rewatch it. Yeah. Okay. So, well, you guys, good chatting with you all today. And I direct you again to the link that I posted in this video, and check it out, where I describe some of the issues with, like, what products we sell, why we sell them, what our revenue is. I didn't put that whole venture capital thing on there. That was a little bit much, but some other issues that I've discussed here today in terms of revenue. And please help me with, in terms of the group, if you're in there and sharing that link. It does keep the lights on. That's always good. But really, as more people have more information and are dialed in more, the whole water level of the community goes up as well. Yeah. So I do appreciate that. And again, we're looking to the future. Our big celebration, we think, next Tuesday, because we are pretty sure by then that we will have our 100 century cases. We may have more. And so, because we have a lot of people announcing, a lot of people kind of right there, and we're excited. Look for ways to contribute video clips, and just announcements here about our direction. But the big direction is YouTube here and telling stories. That's the big direction. And connecting that way. Okay, so I'm gonna take off now, and I will catch you all tomorrow, right here, and again Tuesday. The rest of the week here, but Tuesday's the big one. You got to put on, set a calendar, set an alarm. I'll see you then.